Yeah, a very good morning to all the participants. So, before we get started, let's quickly talk about why this session is important. So, right now we are seeing AI is not just in trend, it's fundamentally changing how developers work. Right from writing the code to debugging to deploying application, everything is changing very fast. Okay, so to help you understand how to stay relevant and grow in this in this very changing land space, we have conducted today's webinar. So before we get started, let me give a quick introduction of our today's speaker. So today we have with us Jai Prakash Aveti Kundala, who is a AI research scientist. He has a deep experience working on AI systems and understanding how technology is evolving at a very fundamental level. Today, he'll be sharing practical insights on how developers can adopt, grow, and stay ahead in the AI first world. And in today's session, we'll be learning a lot of new things like how AI first development workflow actually work, then what skills are required to stay updated in today's changing environment, and most importantly, a clear roadmap to upgrade your career. And I also request all the participants to turn on their camera and make this session more engaging. And you can, if you have any questions or any doubt, you can put it in the chat box, or we have a slot just after the webinar ends. We have 10-15 minutes where you can directly ask question to Jay Prakash sir. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Dipali. Very good morning to everyone, and hope my voice is audible and clear. Can you please confirm, Dipali?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So, my name is Jai Prakash Aveti Kundala, having close to 2 decades of experience in AI, not only in AI, before AI and before AI. Okay. So, let's quickly understand this in a practical approach. Okay. So, what we are going to discuss is a very brief about concept and evolution of AI reality, and AI first day workflow, which means an ideation to deployment, and skills shift, how the regular skills are getting transformed and shifted towards the advanced technologies. So which skills are getting compounded in with respect to demand, and which skills are fading out in the same demand, and what is the importance of cloud, a little bit deep dive on AWS system design and use cases. So this is where, so end of the day, you have to understand two things. What is AI? Everyone knows about AI, but I let you know the practical way of understanding AI, and I correlate with the use cases. So whatever you learn, end of the day, if you are not using to build a case, then it's of no use. So it should be, we are spending good amount of time in use cases, and to do that one, what knowledge is required and what is the best way to learn. Because any skill you want to adapt, you need a preparation, planning, gaining the skills, experience, and delivering it. It can be any skill. It can be a swimming, or it can be a dance, painting, similarly AI. And we can end up with a Q&A session. Okay. So now, with respect to the audience context, right? I guess we have students, professionals, IT leaders, business leaders, as well as founders or freelancers. So exclusively, this is for them. And also, by the end of this course, we have to focus more on the ecosystem, because students are beginners, right? Earlier, if you know C, C++, Java, or Python, so you will be asked to do some coding test, and you will be given asked some questions technically as part of any skill test. But now that those days are gone, you have to learn about the ecosystem, how AI is part of ecosystem, and how AI is being used in an enterprise. If you are a professional, you should understand how AI system is getting developed and adapted. If you are in mid level, you need to focus on growth strategy. So how can we use AI? What are the current trends available in AI which can help an enterprise for an enterprise growth? And if it is a leadership, then definitely, so we need to focus on, we need to mold our brain in terms of a AI leadership. Like, ROI. So how my competitors are using AI? How can we adapt more? So here, this session is purely to change the mindset of learning and adapting AI. So we will understand AI, I mean, in a practical way. So before AI, right, we need to understand what is intelligence and examples of intelligence. What is AI? History and evolution of AI, applications and current trends. So we are not going to spend more than 5 minutes on that. So intelligence refers to an ability to learn, understand, and apply the knowledge, and it involves problem solving, reasoning, abstract thinking, and adaptability. So this is a general definition, okay? But try to think for a while, what is intelligence actually? Okay. So intelligence builds an ability to solve a problem, think out of box, think beyond. Okay. So I'll tell you an example. So on the first day of your coding, you might be struggled. After 7 days, 10 days, 1 month, 2 months, you your struggle is something different, but definitely not as you want day one. Correct? So right from installing a particular software, right from developing some examples or code deploying, the challenges are there. But the challenges what you faced on day one, definitely you will not be having on day 7 or 10 or 1 year or 2 year later. Correct? That is the example of intelligence. You take an example of swimming. Day one, your problem is like you are having some scare. Okay. But on day two, day three, the problem is not on scare, trying a different style, back swimming and all. Okay. Jumping from the height. Similarly, painting. On day one, you struggle to mix the colors. But after 1 month, your challenge is not that because you have the intelligence on what you are doing. So, intelligence is right data with right experience, which means it's not only artificial intelligence, we are coming to the point, but you have to understand what is intelligence. So on day one, you are learning something that is experience with the right data. Right data means whatever you are trying, right? For example, you are parking a vehicle in a mall. First time when you are going, you struggle to find a route. But if you go 2 3 times, you know how to go to a particular basement, and you gain that knowledge with your experience, right? That is intelligence. Okay. So hope you everyone understood what about intelligence. Then you can try remembering these things. And intelligence is not limited to or subjected to a particular image. For example, you are seeing a person, sometimes you feel like, okay, I have seen this guy somewhere. But if you see a particular face, familiar face, your intelligence works instantly because you have the right data with right experience on that particular person, but not on the other person. Correct? It can be a symbol, it can be a face, text, language, whatever it is. So just for few seconds, think about recognizing a voice. Few voice, your family, your friends, your colleagues, right? You instantly you recognize them, but someone's voice, right, you would struggle. Correct? That is where the intelligence difference. Similarly, I told about parking lot and first line of coding, mobile phone. Yeah, so whenever you take a mobile phone, right, on day one you find the features, which feature is there, what are the things are there, how to navigate and all. Within 1 or 2 days or a week, it becomes an automation. Automatically your mind get that intelligence. Swimming, speaking a new language, it's a very good example. Okay. So whenever, for example, if someone coming from Delhi to Bangalore, day one he struggles to understand what's going on with the Canada, but over a period of time it becomes simple. Similarly, dance, facial makeup also, when you're trying your makeup on first time, you do some mistakes, but you learn. So this is what actually intelligence. Now we shift to AI, artificial intelligence. So in traditional modeling, how it works is, you take some there is a requirement. Okay, you take some data and you write some code, and you will give it to a computer and gives the result. But in machine learning, what happens is, AI, you take the data, you take the output, and you give it to the computer, and you generate the model. Then you take that model and you supply the new data to the computer and generate the result. Okay. In traditional way, you take the input data, you get the output. In AI, You train your model with all the possible inputs and outputs and build a model. And that model you are going to use for your new set of data to generate the result. Everyone knows about that, but I'm just explaining as part of intro. So if you see the AI history, right, it is there from 1960s. But what you have to understand is what are the key revolutions happened over a period of time, and what is now and what's going to be the future. Okay, so in 1960 itself there is a language translation. Okay, in 1970, I mean, the AI started with respect to expectations, market expectations. In 1980s, domain came into picture. 1990s, it came the speech recognition. Okay, and 2000, it is about ML algorithms started. In 2010, the deep learning concept emerged a lot. In 2020, it is about Gen AI. 2030, the research is going on with general intelligence and super intelligence. Got it right? So AI, ML, Gen AI, and general intelligence and super intelligence. So now we have to focus on. It's not a very good example I'm going to give. By the time you learn how to write stories, you should not forget the alphabets. Keep this in mind. Okay, at any point of time, fundamentals are very important. At the same time, you have to keep update yourself with respect to what is happening now, what is going to be the future demand. Okay, so, with respect to industry, when it comes to AI, right, there are two categories. One is working on irrespective of any industry use case, one is specific to that particular industry. So, the best one is choose an industry which you are fond of, which you love to solve, okay, and build your own use cases, gain as much as knowledge possible. So, tools, technologies, frameworks relate to that particular domain. So, because the future will be all related to problem solving with respect to a particular domain or cross domains. Okay, so irrespective of you are a general AI engineer or a domain specific AI problem solver, fundamentals are common. That's what I'm going to tell. So this everyone knows. Either you take a tech industry, manufacturing, finance, logistic, it can be security, healthcare, or electronics. Everywhere there are n number of use cases. You are going to focus. If you see the trends in 2026, right? So the rise of autonomous AI agent, it's an agentic AI. So every industry is building an AI agent to automate their 90% of their work. Of course, there are challenges, but that is where your intelligence is required, human intelligence. AI powered personalization scale. Okay. So any personalization, right? Just a moment, please. So any personalization, uh, for example, you take an Amazon, you take Flipkart, you are going to get even YouTube also. You are going to get practically solved personalization recommendations. Okay. Then AI driven creativity and content generation. Best example is ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. Okay. It's not only creating the content, but also the code, but also creating the images, videos. Okay. Second thing is advancements in ethics and governance. Whatever you are building, right, end of the day someone should not question you and put a penalty over that. Okay, so that is the reason always you have to keep in mind what are the ethics we have to follow, what are the governance we need to adapt, and also regulations if there is any. Regulatory environment is very important because, for example, you take a COVID test, you are building a COVID kit. Okay, for a COVID negative person, if you are telling positive, it's fine, there is no harm, it's an extra care. But for a COVID positive person, if your kit is saying negative, it is a harm. It's a regulatory issue. So, like that, you should understand the other ways also. What if this fails? What is the impact? Then also shift towards AI generalist roles and AI and evolution through human AI collaboration. Earlier, humans are doing more, systems are doing less. Now, systems are doing more, humans are doing less. But that less is very key factor here. That knowledge you have to gain. And AI and quantum computing, is very important. It's going to arise. And first quantum valley arised in Amravati in AP. And AI's role in strengthening cybersecurity. You have seen, right? A lot of even cybersecurity issues are very key. It can be a cyber scam, or it can be a bank fraud or fraudulent transactions, facial, like fake videos. So they should be taken care. And AI role in advancing sustainability. You are building something today. You are planning to build today. By the time you are completing your work and getting into the market, it should not become a commodity. Okay, so that is what you need to think about future trends. Okay, whether this product is going to sustain for so and so period or not. That is very important. And finally, AI integration with IoT and smart environments. AI is part of one ecosystem. AI is nothing but driving the ecosystem, but it is going to connect with IoTs. It's going to connect with cameras. It's going to connect with your mobile. Okay, so you need to understand how these are the current trends happening in the AI. Okay, now if you see the shift, the core objective here is what is the shift between the traditional AI to the advanced AI, or a non-AI to an AI. So the shift is from write code to design systems with AI. Earlier, the AI engineers or the non-AI engineers, they are writing the code to solve a particular problem or fulfill the requirement. But now, AI is writing the code. Only thing is, you need to understand whether that AI code is optimized or not, and how to get into the system design. Okay, you should be able to design the AI system, not a piece of AI code. Those days are gone. And one more thing is, you no need to be an expert in writing the code, or memorizing what kind of syntax we have to use and all. AI knows everything, correct? Now you have to understand whether that part what AI is doing is fulfilling the requirement or not. In order to do that, how my system should be, you should be elevating your knowledge to system design. So system design is a fundamental step to start your AI career. Okay, to do that you need some prerequisites that we are going to discuss. Okay, don't limit yourself to Python or some tool or something. Think about, take any example, finance industry, or automotive, or manufacturing, or take any your of your mobile apps. How this app is working, your thinking should start from there. How this app is working, and where AI, how much AI is driving this particular app. Your mindset should start from there. Not like, okay, writing a code or hello world program. Those days are completely gone, because earlier you are starting with hello world just to habituate. Okay, but now your alphabet, very very important step, your thinking should start from a design perspective. Okay, then old versus new, I told manual coding is gone. AI assisted coding, AI is writing the code, you need to assist and get what is required, that's all. And manual debugging, now it is AI debugging. AI itself is doing a debugging, but you need to understand whether the debug is with respect to your objectives or not. It's a manual documentation earlier. Now documentation is also getting generated. Okay, a lot of examples are there, but considering the context of the audience, I'm giving these examples. So the objective of this particular slide is think as a system designer, we using AI. That is your very first step. If you take a previous any courses, right? So Java 30 days course, C++, those days are gone. You need to spend 30 days on Java. Okay, no need to spend 90 days on Python or anything else. It's AI already knows. You no need to re-know what already available in you, correct? Yeah. So best example is, there is a redial functionality in your mobile. If you want to call was one person, first time you will be calling, dialing a number or pulling the contact. Next time you go to the chat history or a call history and redial, right? Similar way. You no need to build or learn what AI already knows. Now, so AI landscape, if you see, GitHub Copilot is there, ChatGPT, Claude, Cursor. These are the primary things we are using, and we should be very conscious about what AI can already do and what AI cannot do. So generating APIs, AI can do. Writing test cases, API can do. Build full stack apps, AI can do. But generating APIs, it can do, but it will not do a deep system thinking. Okay. So how to use that API? Where to use? Where we cannot use that? Whom to give the privileges? Whom we cannot give the privileges? Those things and all you should have the knowledge. So deep system thinking is your first step. Then writing test cases. So it will write a number of test cases, but there should be some business trade-off. Which test case is valid for my requirement, which is not at all possible. For example, you want to calculate your BMI. Height, weight is enough. Hair color is not required, correct? So only we can know that. But over a period of time, if you train the AI system, it also knows. Okay, it will not capture those details, correct? Then ownership. AI can build a full stack apps, but it cannot take the ownership. If something goes wrong, AI is not responsible, right? You are only training the AI system and adapting that to use how to build a AI stack, but you should be owner of that. What is the objective of my business app or a web app or a particular mobile app? Okay, so it is very important. Ownership should be with you. You have to have enough knowledge on AI and enough knowledge on what is your business, what is the requirement. You have to focus more on these things instead of writing a code or writing a test cases or documenting it. Okay, the final statement here is AI won't replace any developer, but developers using AI will replace those who don't. So start using AI, start thinking maturely to design the systems. Okay, don't stick as a developer, don't think as a developer at all. Okay, because AI is already having that role, developer role. Now to do that, what is required? Hope clear till this point, right? Because each and every slide I'm explaining with a practical example to correlate your reality. Okay, now the big divide is between skills that compound and skills that are fading out. So let's see what are fading out. Syntax memorization, it is not required because AI already knows that. And boilerplate coding, you no need to sit and write a code with your hands. It is generating the code already. Manual debugging, okay. So you no need to sit and debug where it went wrong, what kind of error message. No. For a particular earlier, what we are doing is if we get error message, if we know already we are solving it, otherwise we are going to Google or some Stack Overflow where the some forums and getting a knowledge, then we are replicating it. That is also automated. And a tool specific knowledge. In my earlier days, I was working on Sibyl, I was working on Oracle middleware. Okay. So it's a tool. If you know that particular tool which is having high demand, you are in high demand. Okay. But tool specific knowledge is gone. Okay, because tool itself is driving by AI. Okay, and repetitive task, any repetitive task generating a report, so those things are already getting automated. But now if you see, problem solving is very important. There is a problem, I told you, right? Problems are not fading out. Every day problems are arising, hundreds thousands of problems in any industry. Irrespective of any industry, problems are there. You should be a problem solver. Okay, for a particular problem, how the current process is operating. So what is available? So using these resources, how can I solve the problem? Your mindset should start thinking from that level. Then second one is system thinking, system design. I already told. Problem is there, and you know you have the resources. Using that, you have to design your system using AI. Then architecture thinking, because whenever you design an architecture, right, you should know if I pull something or if I introduce something, how it is going to impact positively, negatively, how it is going to change the business, how it is going to impact the business. Okay, so that level thinking. Then prompt is a key fundamental now, because everything is, but for example, if you are going to chat gpt and putting some, I want this, I want that, indirectly it is a prompt. Okay, so not everyone getting the same response, because prompt plays the role there. The more knowledge you have on the prompt engineering, the quality output and the more valuable outputs you are going to get from the AI. So prompt engineering is very important. And one more thing is, as I told, AI with domain knowledge. If you see, there is a AI in domain now. Okay, take any domain, irrespective of any domain, they are using AI. Okay, so don't get demotivated or disappointed if you don't have a domain knowledge. Start building that. If you are in a industry, understand how a banking industry works, what are the various products available, so how automation is evolved, what is the scope of AI, can I take this use case and solve using AI. So like that. For example, I'll tell you, when I was traveling, One girl was sitting next to me and she said like she was very much interested in psychology, but due to the family pressure she took the computer science and specialization in AI. What to do? I told, you are already in track, apply AI in psychology. Who stopped you? I advised her to do masters in psychology in AI. So instantly, I mean, her mindset got changed. She's started applying for internships and all. Now she's doing her internship in AI and already in planning to do masters in psychology with applied AI. That's what I'm telling. Irrespective of any field, AI is there. Only thing is you have to think how to solve the problem, think the process, understand the business, system design and system thinking, architecture, prompt engineering, and domain knowledge. Then, if you see, never compete with AI, collaborate with it because adaptation time is very less. The moment you adapt one skill, new thing is coming. The moment you adapt a new skill, another thing is already in pipeline. So, you have to focus on compounding skills, what we discussed here, and try to collaborate with it and try to be top in your area. Now, earlier there is a SDLC, there is a agile mode of working, right? Those things are gone. Now, new life cycle for a particular project development or a product development or a business development is starts from an idea. You need to prompt your ideas technically, then generate the solution, validate it, deploy it, monitor it, get the benefit out of it. This is the current cycle of AI. So phase one ideation is you have a problem. You need to, for example, I want to build a sales forecasting report to understand deep dive on what are the critical factors which is supporting sales and what are the factors which are degrading the scale sales of a particular year or a quarter. This is my problem statement. So now you have to prompt. I want sales report. I have the sales report data for a financial year so and so. I want to deep dive key factors. I mean, whenever there is a spike or a dip, please understand the factors and give me why. So, like this, you have to prompt your AI to give the solution. Now, the example or output at each and every phase, build a fintech fraud detection system. Here, I'm taking. There is a financial tech company. You need to understand what you need to identify the fraud and why. Okay. So then second one is AI assisted coding. So already if you have an idea and prompt, if you give it to AI, it is generating the code, correct? So you have to optimize it, you have to refine it, test it. And once you stabilize, okay, this for this particular objective, this code is fulfilled. I'm getting the required output. Then my objectives are once your objectives are fulfilled, you have to test and debug. So testing is like 360-degree testing. You have to give, can you please give the test for all the scenarios? For example, my age is less than 18, I cannot go for a loan. My and so these are some hard rules where it has to, I mean, uh, reject at the very upfront. It's not like validating everything and rejecting at the last. If a mandatory thing is missing, you can reject at very first step itself and do the other part and do the further analysis and give the notes. Okay. And fourth one is a deployment. The purpose of building a product or a project is taking it to live, right, to the business users. Yes. So that is where you need to understand the CI/CD and cloud deployment with respect to AI. And finally, uh, deployed live app, we have to take it to the final users. Okay. And phase 5 is a monitoring. Once the product is deployed, you have to go for a continuous improvement. Okay. So AI is not a one time development. Okay. AI is a developed initially, but keep on updating and upgrading its intelligence, not the solution or the design. Okay. Whenever a new data comes into picture or whenever a new scenario, okay, so it has to handle it smartly. That is where we apply guardrails. Okay. For example, if I'm asking about how to invent a bomb, how to, so these kind of things, right? It should not answer it. Okay. Even if it is having some knowledge about some manufacturing, it should not answer. So these are all the things we have to consider whenever we have to take a part. Okay. From idea to production, irrespective of anything, right? AI accelerates every step of development life cycle. From idea to production, AI tools are available, AI frameworks are available, AI technologies are available. Only thing is, you have to start from your system design thinking. Problem, system design thinking, architecture level, adapting AI tools, generating the code, testing, debugging, deploy, then monitor, and there is one more step called reinforcement that I will touch up in the further slides. So now we understood so far about what is intelligence, what is AI, what is the importance of AI, what how AI is evolving and transforming, and how what should be your mindset to build a solution. Now it is equally important to understand about system design plus cloud. Okay, so we are going to discuss about why cloud still matters, because cloud is already there. Okay, it's there from past 1 decade, even before that, but from past 1 decade it is the usage is very high. Then now modern system design, so we'll take an example of AWS. We do have Azure, GCP, and a lot of other clouds, but for a effectiveness and considering the time, we are going to focus on the in the interest of time, we are going to focus on AWS and what are the key services and what should be your AI and cloud strategy. Okay, so tell me, what is cloud and why cloud still matters? It is a question to you, anyone can answer. What is cloud? What is your understanding on cloud? That's what I'm telling. So these things are known concepts only, but you have to understand in the right way. Okay, that is the takeaway from this webinar to you. Otherwise, if I give the same textbook examples or same Google examples, it is not adding any value much. So we need to understand the cloud fundamentally. What is cloud?
So participants can either put it in the chat box or they can raise their hand so I can unmute them.
You no need to buy the cow. That is the concept of cloud. To buy milk, you want milk. You don't want anything else. For that, you no need to buy the cow or a buffalo. Okay, so that is the concept of cloud. So instead of taking you, for example, you are working only on Excel, not even Word, not even Notepad, anything. Your work is only on Excel. Anyway, I mean, nowadays Excel sheet is already available. I'm just taking an example for a simple example I'm taking. So you don't need to buy a licensed software. I'm telling about the software which are licensed. Microsoft Word, 365, nothing is required. You want only Excel. Just log into your cloud account, use Excel, work done. You are paying very minimal amount when compared to installing a complete package. And that's what I told. If you buy cow, you have to give a shelter, you have to give water, food, and you have to maintain the whatever the waste it is, and you need to take care of the cow health, everything you have to take care. But end of the day, what is required, everything you are throwing it out, taking just some cups of milk. Waste, right? You are wasting more money than what is required. So cloud service is like that only. You want to use a particular, you want to develop something, for that you need a very minimal software. Okay, so instead of taking a system, providing a space for that power, and spending the complete hardware and installing some software, and again updating its licenses, upgrading it to the next version, say blah blah blah, right? It is all maintenance. But end of the day, what you are doing, you are writing a simple line of code for your automation tool or something. Okay, so that is the concept of cloud. That is the reason why still cloud matters is, most of the industries, enterprises, they are cutting down their operational cost by using cloud. Okay, now AI runs on cloud. Yes, models need massive compute, storage, and GPUs. that too for one time or whenever there is a retraining required. Okay, so if you are building a regression model or a computer vision solution or a your company specific mobile app with a chatbot, right? So for that is your business. Okay, maybe I'm telling about for a bigger enterprise there are distributed businesses, and each distributed business is having their own budget to spend on IT to give the solutions, correct? Instead they can go for a Google AWS or a Microsoft Azure, any cloud service which is already available. They can directly adapt, use it, and with a minimal changes, and they can run in, I mean, the development time is very fast, the cost is very less, and also, for example, your app is super success. Today 100 users are there, overnight 1000 users are there. Your system hardware will crash if you don't monitor it and scale it up instantly. But in the cloud it is auto scalable. Lot of concepts are there, throttling concept to control the user flow, at the same time scalability, I mean auto scaling instantly, you can raise your hardware capacity and service bandwidth, everything it will be taken care by the cloud provider. That is where backbone of all modern systems, cloud is the backbone of all modern systems. Now AWS essentials, Amazon Web Services, right? It is one of the leading cloud platforms with a lot of applications. It provides compute, storage. Compute means you want to like a RAM, right? You, if you want, for example, if you have a laptop, you want to install some Python or install some deep learning frameworks, it requires a minimum hardware capacity to compute, correct? AWS directly one click it provides your compute. And storage, whatever the data you are using, you can directly store in the cloud, and it is a secure, there is a NDA, and it is secured. And you have a lot of AI services like document intelligence, you have computer vision solutions, regression models, okay, classification models, market analysis, everything is, a lot of AI services are already available. You just need to apply on your data with a minimal configuration changes, then you can directly use. And also networking. Okay, so this is a cheat sheet of all AI, and not only AI but also other services which are available in the AWS. For example, if you take analysis, data pipelines is there, OpenSearch is available, QuickSight is available, Redshift is available, and application integration. If you, for example, take any enterprise, it will not work its operations in a one system. There is a billing system, okay, there is a customer CRM, there is a SAP, there is a database, there is a cyber security API gateway. So your, even if it is a AI or non AI, you have to integrate, orchestrate across the enterprise. So you have good number of application integration solutions here. And also financial management, cost, budgets, RI reporting, explorer, usage report. And for computing, it is already I told, so auto scaling ke EC2 auto scaling services available, Lambda is available. And for computing, for databases, you can have your own database. Okay, it can be structured, unstructured, graph, any kind of database as part of your system requirements, it is available. Also the developer tools. Okay, so if you want, sometimes what happens, whatever the AI solution you use, you need to do some custom coding to fulfill the objectives. At that time again you have to take a developer role for some time. Code is already generated, but it is not giving the 100% alignment with your objectives. You have to modify the code, or else you need to call a particular snippet of code and inject in your AI. At that time you need some developer tools, right? That part. So AI is already writing the code in exceptional cases, I'm telling. And network and content delivery and storage, and also like security, finally reports and dashboards. So everything you can get it from AWS. So now in the context of AI, I'll tell you what is important. EC2 is for virtual servers. Lambda is for serverless execution, which means run your code without managing the servers. And S3, so scalable storage, like you can put your data, models, logs, historical data. So everything you can maintain here. And Bedrock is a excellent tool. It's an having access to all the foundational models just through an API. Okay, for example, you want to generate a content for a particular concept. Okay, so you can give the prompt, that API, through an API, it takes the prompt and gives the context. Okay. So ChatGPT, we are using by logging into the ChatGPT, creating an account, then you are putting a prompt and you are using it. Similarly, you can use this Bedrock GenAI service directly into your home application. Okay. For example, if you are having a mobile app, you can directly integrate through an API and automatically it will give the content not only as a direct output, which can be integrated to some other format of in any other user apps. Okay, like that. So at least you should have the core knowledge about EC2, Lambda, S3, and Bedrock when it comes to AWS services. Now, what is the concept of AI with cloud strategy? If you want to build AI native apps, AI is core. Okay, it's not an add-on. AI is the core because we already discussed there are 5 phases, right? AI is there, and you can get all those 5 phases just because of APIs. You no need to reinvent the particular algorithm or a particular service. You no need to build whatever is already available. You just inject through an API and leverage the existing models or services. It gives very fast output in rebuilding everything instead of rebuilding everything from the scratch, right? For example, I'll give a simple example. You want to convert centigrade to Fahrenheit. There is a formula. Okay. There is a API also available. So this is a very simple thing. And second one is you want to convert dollar to gold. Okay. So it is a fluctuated, right? So if you write a particular code, I'm telling centigrade to Fahrenheit is fixed. There is a particular formula. It's fine. You don't need to. There is a API. There is a code. You can use code. No need to call API. But gold to I want to. I'm a forex trader. I am buying all foreign currencies. Okay. So based on the gold, I want to take a decision. Or based on the foreign currency, I want to check whether to buy the ETFs for a gold or not. Either way, I cannot write a formula, right? It's very challenging because the every second the international markets are fluctuating. So at that time, how can I take a decision by writing a code? At this time only, APIs work. Two cases. One is fluctuating and real-time updates. Second one is where the complexity is very high. It's going to take at least 2 to 3 months to build that particular solution. But instead, if you use the API, it takes only a minute or two. In that case, you can go for API. So that is where the AI and cloud strategy works. So now I'm telling cloud is not an option in AI, it is an execution layer. Okay. And combining it with smart architecture and APIs, you can speed up your business flows. Okay. So now, so far we discussed about what is intelligence, what is AI, how traditional AI is different from advanced AI, what are the compounding skills and what are the fading out skills. Now, how you have to change your mindset from a developer or a senior developer, whatever, irrespective of any stage, you have to start thinking, system level design thinking, architecture, impact, along with AI adoption. And we discussed a few tools about AWS. Okay. So, why we are doing all these things? Why we are doing all these things? To develop something, correct? So, one thing you have to understand industry use cases. First of all, you have to be very clear about what is the use case. Okay. Everyone, most of the guys, they think like problem statement, use case, objective, they are all similar. No. Problem statement is, for example, I'm having a leakage, data leakage or a fuel leakage. So solution you are providing. Okay. So I'm going to give a solution. Like I'm going to weld. If there is a water leakage, I'm going to put a filter for a data leakage. Okay. Or a some vulnerability filters I will be putting. That is a problem statement. Use case is something called whenever your solution is giving some value for a particular problem, that is a use case. there is a use to the business, a case that is a use case. Okay, there should be some benefit, there should be some use to the business users or a enterprise or an organization by taking this particular problem statement or a case and solving it. That is where in AI, everywhere if you see what is the use case, which means I'm going to solve a problem. There is a problem, I'm going to solve it. This is the benefit I'm going to get. All these three things you are combining and telling it as a use case. Okay. So every industry today is adapting AI, but not because of problems are new. As I told in few minutes back, problems are not new. Problems are there already, and every day new problems are going to get in a different flavor. Okay. For example, sales is going down. That problem is there from long back, but how you are going to solve that problem, the strategies, the technology, the approach, and the use case, what you are going to define on top of that is going to change. Now, let's say fraudulent transaction, customer experience, efficiency, decision making, all these are already existing, but these are not current use cases. Even before computer was there, sales forecasting was there. They are using their experience, their customer base, they are doing that forecasting and taking some decisions. That decision making process we are going to discuss about when in the data we are going to discuss about the data part, then I'll explain in detail. But the objective here is problems are there, problems are old problems, new problems can be coming in a different flavor. We have to mold, we have to train ourselves to different thinking methodology. Okay, so what's changing is how we solve them. So earlier we were doing a manual process, applying rules, static systems and automation, lot of things to solve. But now using AI, right? System is able to learn from data. You no need to learn from data. AI is good enough to learn what data is there and what insights are there from the data. And second one is AI can what's happening in real time. Okay, we may not be getting the update, but if you are implementing AI will get updates on what's happening on your business or from the competitors before earlier than you. Okay, and AI experience become personalized at scale. Earlier the system is common. If you want to implement for a particular business, for example sales, for a particular age group, your module is something different. Sales with respect to a senior citizen is something different. But now it's not a particular age group, it's a personalized with respect to each user's choice, his interests, the personalization, the recommendation is getting changed. To that level, it is AI is evolved. Okay. So now one more thing is AI is not creating any new problems. Of course, the problem not about the business, but about the security wise, some quality wise, those are there. Here I'm telling about the business problems. It gives us a new lens to solve old problems in a better, faster, and smarter way. That is the takeaway here. If you use AI, same problem can be solved in a better way, faster way, and smarter way. So now let's look at the few problem statements in the industries, because considering various backgrounds, I kept these 3 4 slides what we are going to do next, right? So covering all most of the industries and also generalizing it. So industry use case when you take with respect to AI, right? You have to start with a business goal. I told you, right? AI use case. Use case is problem, solution, and benefit, which is called a goal. Start with a business goal. For example, focus on ROI. So, how much cost it will take, how much efficiency it is, how much customer experience. So, you have to define your clear goals. Then find repeatable problems. As part of this particular use case, is there any repeatable problems which I can automate? Okay. Then ensure data readiness. As I told initially, right data with right experience is the intelligence. Correct? If you want to build a reliable AI system, you should have the quality data. You cannot give incorrect data or invalid or inconsistent data to build a scalable AI solution. Correct? strong AI solution. Let's say Google, G is there, the logo. Godrej is also G. You should not learn Google G as a Godrej G, which means you are not gaining intelligence. You have to learn Google as a Google G, Godrej logo as a Godrej G. That is where intelligence comes. Here you cannot give sales data and ask for some other forecasting, correct? So quality data you have to give. Then enable cross team ownership. So in this particular use case, who is taking care of business ownership, defining the use cases, and what is the technical implementation, and what is the ops? Means once the business use case is done and technical implementation is done, how we are going to deploy and give it to an end user, taking the feedback, maintaining the sustainability, maintaining the quality, and improving the quality of the solution. So all these things we have to define. Then add governance as early as possible. Prevention is better than cure, right? And after building the AI solution, if there is any risky output, instead of taking an action at that point, it's better to have a checklist of control risk with respect to trust. For example, uh, let's take a background from a manufacturing. Okay, so he is building a some gods in his vehicle. Like let's take a two wheeler or a any other. Best example is aircraft. Okay, so in aircraft, so AI enabled manufacturing process is there. So they enabled everything. Okay, but after flying at particular extreme temperatures, right, it is creating some problems, let's say. So it is a heavy risk, right? After detecting the problem, having a emergency landing, it's a risk. Or you have taken a built a model for a markets, like a stock market solution. You have built which one to buy, which one to sell, and what is the stop loss, and where you have to do hedging, where you have to go for a futures and options, everything you have. So after getting the loss, instead of correcting this solution, it should be very clear. My AI solution is going to do only this set of problems. I cannot make it generalize at this moment. I need some inputs. I need some real time examples with this. Then only I can expand the solution to the next level. So even if you build a very small solution, be very clear about what you are solving. Add some value. Don't degrade that, because if AI fails, right, people will not use. This AI is not working, it's better I can use my own solution. That is the feedback you are getting. But even if you solve a smaller problem in a better way, that gives more trust. Okay. And last one is scale it step by step, in terms of features, in terms of users, in terms of load, whatever it is. Start small, build it completely. So you should be the CEO of your solution. Always remember, irrespective of any developer or lead, if you are into AI, think like a CEO. You are a CEO of your AI product or AI solution. You should be knowing end to end about what is the scope of my AI, what is possible, what is not possible. If anyone is going to use beyond this, what is the risk he is going to face? You should have that much of knowledge. That's what I told. Stop thinking like a developer, start thinking like a designer. Okay. And scale AI wherever problems repeat. Data is strong and impact is measurable. If there is a measurable impact, then you can correct it. But if it is a risky impact, you have to avoid it day one itself. Don't include that feature on day one. First solve, then scale it up. Okay. So this use case concept is very important, because you can get whatever I told in multiple sources. This knowledge you will not going to get from external sources. This came out of my experience. Now you have to understand how many types of use cases are there. See, that's what this webinar is not a theoretical one. It is a practical approach which changes your mindset. Okay. So there are, all use cases are not same. You have to understand what type of use case is this. Accordingly, you have to design your AI solution. Okay, change your mindset. Number one, if you say conventional use case, these use cases have both like significant impact and adaptation across the industries. Okay, these use cases have been adapted universally. They brought about the last wave of disruption, and enterprises do not need to invest in developing them, they simply need to use them. Got it right? Conventional use cases, okay, instead of developing on their own, they can adapt, they can use it if it is already available, because it is a generic. When it comes to selective, see, use cases that have a relatively low impact but have been widely adopted. Impact is less, but adoption is more. So these use cases do not have much standalone impact but add value when combined with higher order use cases, which means selective use case is for a particular problem statement in a particular domain or a industry to solve a particular problem, but its impact is at the higher level. For example, I'll tell you, in a bigger ship, if a small bolt is missing, you know the impact, right? Like that. So enterprise should leverage these use cases to build complex AI solutions. Okay. So that is selective. Then niche. Use cases that are currently have a low adoption and do not have a foreseeable significant impact. But these use cases have been adopted infrequently by few enterprises and still need to be redefined. So enterprises need to investigate relevance and usability. So, for example, I want to build a supercomputer. AI is already there, ChatGPT is already there. Now, personalized systems are there, but they work only with respect to the trained information. Correct? I want to build a system which thinks like my brain, like Elon Musk is doing the research on that, right? Brain. So each brain thinks differently. I want to build, instead of me thinking, right, my system want to think like me. That's my use case. Then disruptive use cases that have potential to have great impact but current adoption is low. These use cases have the potential to disrupt multiple domains, and also enterprises need to invest in developing and scaling these use cases. See, one is directly using. Second one is to build a complex system, you have to do a selective use case and you have to adapt, and considering some exceptional use cases which you want to build. And the other one is where a lot of R&D is required to develop a solution. So that's what I'm telling while defining the use case, right? Problem, solution, and benefit. Accordingly, you have to decide what type of use case is this and what kind of solution we have to put. So, irrespective of any domain, right? A use cases in financial and banking, manufacturing, insurance, agriculture, marketing, operations, supply chain, IT, cybersecurity, and retail and e-commerce, healthcare and life sciences, energy and utility, customer support, sales, HR, automation, and any generic use cases. Okay. So why I'm telling is everyone is interested in particular domain, irrespective of whatever the work they are doing, right? For example, if you take me, I am more interested into filmmaking, okay, film acting. So even my PhD I'm doing in that film related subject only, detecting the emotions. Okay. So I'm applying my AI there. So irrespective of any industry, if you have a, for example, one guy is very fond of chess, he can use AI there. Okay. One guy is very much interested in sports. So how to design a sports event? So he can apply event there. One is very much interested in retail business in marketing. You can use their AI. So the objective of this particular slide is irrespective of any business, any domain, any of your interest, if you want to use AI, doors are opened. It's up to you. Same thing. Problem statement, think the entire system, understand the system, understand the tools, understand the frameworks, then architecture, then adapt, bring some value, then you are the winner. So let's see, these are simple examples I'm giving. You can extend this. But why I'm telling is the audience, whoever is there in this session, may be part of one or two of these industries. If they want to, if they don't know where to start, they can pick up from here. They got the use case, and they can start building the solutions on their own. Okay, that is the reason I'm giving two slides. So banking and finance, if you take, the primary use cases are in fraud detection, credit risk, and document analysis. Okay, if you do the fraud detection and credit risk and document analysis, right, the value what you are going to give is you can reduce the risk, you can improve the accuracy and faster complaints. Retail and e-commerce, Amazon is the best example. You are getting recommendations and demand forecasting and dynamic pricing. Okay, so these tools you can build, which improves the sales, optimize the inventory and personalization. Manufacturing, so detect defect detection, predictive maintenance and optimization. Because manufacturing industry, right? So I have built very good use cases in my previous organization, like warranty analytics. Okay, so any product giving a warranty for a particular time, right? That period is not a revenue period to the organization. That is a cost to the company irrespective of any manufacturing. If any defect during the manufacturing period, right, company has to pay to the dealer or replace it with a new product to the customer, correct? So how to reduce that warranty cost? That is the concept. Even if you reduce 1%, you are doing wonders, correct? So I created 8 use cases, eight use cases as part of warranty. How can, and we did sharp 20% of warranty reduction. That is the thing. So, which improves the quality, reduces downtime, efficiency. See, these use cases, that's what I'm telling. You have to think like a CEO, think like an architect. Okay. Then healthcare, medical imaging, patent risk, documentation, because any medical test you do, you have to wait for the report, correct? After getting the result is different from report. Result is instant. They are doing the test, they are getting the result. But based on that, someone has to sit and write the report, correct? Yes. So that's take a lot of time. Now, medical imaging, patent risk, and documentation, all things. For example, if you are building one solution, and you can approach to any lab, you can approach to any healthcare organizations. I have this solution. If you want to use, you can use it. Pay some revenue out of that. Simple. Insurance, claims automation, fraud detection, risk pricing, and energy and utilities, failure prediction. Energy and utilities is a lot of having complaints and regulations, because there is an agreement saying like if any company is having an agreement, I'll be supplying power 24 bar 7 without any downtime during the business hours. In that case, you have to do the failure prediction, demand forecasting, safety and monitoring. Even if you are out, it is going to, for example, servers, right? Servers, anything. It's not only the power supply from a government. There are generators, lot of those are all from the energy and utility providers. Okay, there is a SLA. Even if the power cut, the systems are not shut down. For that, they have to consistently monitor and consistently taking the demand, because we don't know how many guys are going to come during holiday time, and if there is any event is happening, suddenly the power usage is high, and so you need to do the failure prediction. Automatically, they have to maintain the backups for a consistent power supplies. If you do this using AI, it is a wonder. It's already there. That's what I'm telling. Problem is already there, solution is already there. Only thing is how differently you are making the solution better, cheaper and smarter. Okay. Then agriculture, disease detection. Okay, so a lot of, right, farmers are having these yield prediction, smart irrigation. AI is also already there. Then customer output, ticket routing, chatbot summarization, it's already known problems, no need to, I'm deep diving where I can make your eyes open to think in a broader way. Okay. General things, no need to explore more, but marketing. So segmentation, churn prediction, campaign optimization, it is already there. Sales, lead scoring, deal prediction, proposal drafting. Supply chain is a very, very important. See, now due to this war, right? Gas, oil, this is a very good example of supply chain. Otherwise, what happens? Suddenly rates will spike, or suddenly rate will go down. especially tomatoes and onions, right? Sometimes it goes to 100, 150, sometimes it becomes 1 rupee, 2 rupee. No one is there to buy. How you can maintain that supply chain? Especially with respect to inventory, there is a high demand, and if you don't have certain inventory, required inventory in your organization, then you cannot release the products, and customer will get upset and they go for an competitor product. So maintaining the supply chain is a highly impacting, even for a nation, not only for a organization, even for a nation level, global level. Okay. Now the next one is HR. So resume parsing, it's already there. Hiring and attrition. So now HR, like it's a, if anyone from HR, they can understand this very easily. Okay. So attrition prediction. So accordingly, they are going to give some benefits to the resources to get retain them. So all these things are there. I built more than 25 plus HR use cases. And IT and security, threat detection, log analysis, and automation. Here, one more thing is very good use case. If someone is in from IT or infra background, they can try. Uh, every organization now, they are buying the laptops, correct? Or the desktops. Now it is a rental based. Rental based means you are buying a laptop and users are not using it. In that case, what happens? You are unnecessarily paying rent for the company, correct? From whom you are taking the laptop. How can you reduce that rent? This is one example. Second one is licenses. You are buying enough licenses, but no one is using that. See, if you think like this, you can save a lot of money, and this becomes your use case. And this is a generic use case, I'm telling. And across industry, it's like summarization, knowledge assistant, and report drafting. See, we are going to discuss more about these use cases. End of the day, whatever the knowledge you are having, if you are not applying somewhere and build some use case and benefit, it is of no use, correct? That is the reason I'm deep diving and throwing more light on every domain with a little inputs. Now, AI delivers value where scale, speed, and consistency exceeds human limits. If a human is doing, if AI is doing the same, what is the use? Why I have to spend that much money? But instead, if it is exceeding the human limit, per day, human can do only 10 documents. Understanding the document and doing. If a AI system is doing 100 or 1000, that is the value. Human errors are 10%. Here it is 0%, almost zero. And it's even more. Only thing is how to achieve that. That is where the skills required for us. Okay. Yeah. So agentic, we are going to discuss about that now. We know, sorry. So now, so far we discussed about AI, intelligence AI, and difference between the traditional and current AI, what skills are required, and how to understand the problem statement or a use case and define in various steps where in each phase what is the scope of AI, and a little bit about AWS and about use case. Correct. Now, not all use cases are same, correct? With respect to use case type of a problem, the type is different. At the same time, with respect, now we are entering into the AI. So with respect to AI also, the use case is different. There is a gen AI use case, there is a traditional AI use case, and agentic AI use case. So if the current role is creates content, you want to create a content, that's a gen AI use case. And if you want to predict or take a decision, it is a traditional ML or deep learning use case. If the use case is to take an automatic action, decide something, and orchestrate with multiple systems, think and take a decision, it's a agentic AI use case. And the skills are different for Gen AI, traditional AI, and agentic AI. The output is usually like a text or a code or summary or an image. In traditional AI, it can be a score or a particular label or a prediction. And agentic AI, it's an end-to-end task execution. Purpose of Gen AI is communication and creativity out of box. Then traditional AI is decision making and optimization. And agentic AI purpose is to automate the business flows. And the problem type is open-ended. You can ask any question to Gen AI. Traditional AI, it's a well-defined. Agentic AI is a goal-driven with a multiple steps. Data, Gen AI uses a large diversified data. Traditional AI uses a structured and labeled data. And agentic AI uses both. Behavior, it's a Gen AI is a reactive, it's a interactive. Okay, so you are asking a question, you are getting it. Traditional AI, it is taking a input and giving the prediction as a output. Agentic AI is a proactive, which means we gave the workflow and it will plan automatically, act automatically, takes iteration steps if required automatically. Consistency is Gen AI, it varies from case to case. Traditional AI is stable, and agentic AI is adaptive. So generative AI is best fit for content generation. Traditional AI is for prediction or classification. Agentic AI is to automate the complex tasks. Traditional AI is a brain. Okay, it decides. Generative AI is a brain with voice. Agentic AI is a worker. Okay, so the feature is not just AI that predicts or generates, but it AI that acts. Now, agentic AI is the current trend, right? Where it uses internally, it can use Gen AI, it can use traditional AI or any other tools. That is the objective of this. But whenever you are solving a problem, you should be very clear about what type of problem it is with respect to business, what type of category it belongs to, whether it is a Gen AI or traditional AI or agentic AI. Everywhere you can use AI to solve these problems. Now, if someone want to build, they don't have any domain knowledge, but they want to do some generic use cases and go to the market, right? They can go for a consumer packed goods. Okay, assist in anticipating demand trends, automation of warehouse and store operations, optimizing of price and personalization, provide an enriched user experience through virtual assistants. So this is where multiple use cases they can practice to solve, I mean, where they can apply everything in consumer packaged goods. With respect to technology, so development of intelligent websites, using AI you can build the websites and enhance navigation guide. For example, navigation guide is not there. The moment you go to the guide, go to the website, right, it will automatically say where you want to go, follow this. So that's all AI based. And customer based on preferences, past actions and current conversations. Earlier we have to define what is my home page. It is static, but now it is dynamic. So development of intelligent, highly personalized and predictive primary devices that can control and direct other shared or secondary devices. So this is a generic use case. And automotive, integration of emotion AI into supplier technology stacks, infotainment systems and speech technologies to control the automotive, and also NLP tools to extract insights from data about customer preferences and expectations. Finally, banking, financial, and insurance, BFSI, right? So, based on the streamlining labor intensive tasks such as processing of claim documents or invoices and mitigation of threats and risks, increasing regulatory compliance with respect to each country, and deployment of cognitive computing products, and also cyber crime. Okay, so these use cases are generic. Okay, where the scope is high, the industry, bank, any bank you go, these are the common problems. Any automotive, these are the common problems. Any tech industry, these are the common problems. Any consumer good, these are the common problems. So you can take any one of these or a combination of these, you can take and you can explore. Now, so far we understand up to the use cases, but to do that we have to learn AI, right? But learning AI varies from age to age, each candidate to the other candidate. AI for school is something different. AI for high school is different. AI for college is different. Graduate software engineer is different. Senior software engineers is different. Project leads is different. Managers is different. For a product development, product owners is different. Non-technical business professionals like business analysts in sales, HR, marketing, finance, that is different. AI for executives, AI for CXO, CEO is different. Okay. So learning AI should be customized and collaborated with your objectives. We cannot say it's a okay, this AI anyone can learn. No, because if you do give a complex task to a school guy, he will not understand. If a school guy want to understand about AI, and he should be able to independently explore on his own to the next level, to next level, to next level. That is important. Again, he should not come to high school and again start how to understand AI for high school. Coming to the college, again, he should not go to how to understand AI for college. So the fundamentals, whatever we discuss, right, that should make you independently to understand AI wherever you are. Okay, if you are becoming a lead, you should have that self maturity to understand that and grow on your own by gaining the knowledge. Even if you are at a executive level, you should have that fundamental maturity at your level also to the next level. So learning path differs from each person to each person. If it is a school, so don't need to spend much time on this. I'm just giving a glimpse. Basic AI concepts, application, whether it is an AI application or not, what is the difference between AI app and non-AI app? So he need to appreciate that. Then when it comes to high school, you should have the foundational skills and knowledge on AI concepts. When it comes to college, advanced study and specialization in AI subjects, right from what is how data analytics works, how ML works, how deep learning works, how NLP works. Then senior, like a fresh graduates, right? They have to do the practical scenarios and industry contexts. Senior engineers, so they have to understand whether AI generated code is correct or not to that level. And project leads managing AI projects and teams. Who is doing which work using AI, and whether this multiple, because everyone can use AI in different ways, but a lead should be having an awareness on how to leverage that. Managers think on ROI, AI initiatives, what's happening, how the implementation is going on. Product development. Now, AI driven product is there, right? It's a different subject. Designing and developing AI driven project and strategies. Then AI for non-technical stakeholders. For example, AI solutions to enhance business functions. What tools are available? Okay. And extensive domain and operational business and process knowledge. For executives, it is strategic vision. Okay. What is my 5-year plan, 10-year plan? And what are the AI initiatives I can take? Okay, where I can implement AI, and what transformation is required when compared to my business uh, competitors. And heads and directors always across the departments, not specific to one department, across the department, estimate the budget impact of AI. So if I implement AI, how it is showing the impact on the numbers, my quarterly results, annual results, and how many skilled professionals are there in my organization. So how much training is required, at what level, what training is required. Then CX force, it's across the organization, strategic oversight, taking a decision. Okay, for example, CIO, CDO, and Chief AI Officer, Chief HR. So any CXO across the organization has to think. Then CEO is like visionary leadership and governance about AI strategies. So that's what I'm telling. Learning AI differs from one level to the other level, but irrespective of except school and high school, this knowledge is mandatory. Okay, if a C, I mean, if someone is coming and telling I'm implementing Gen AI here, if a CEO doesn't know about what is Gen AI, how can he think about further about that particular product? So whatever I'm telling now is a fundamental for everyone. Okay, so what is Gen AI and what are the key aspects? Similarly, what is agentic AI? What are the key aspects? What are the key aspects in that? What is responsible AI? What is ethical AI? Because AI is not just like building a product or using it for the business. Okay, there are a lot of hidden concepts in that. That's what I'm telling. This webinar is not a theoretical session. It is a mind open session. How you want to be different from the rest of the crowd. Okay, so unless and until if you don't know these things, it's very difficult. Then explainable AI and fair AI, AI safety and AI governance. So all these things you have to understand. Either you build a product or a project or a AI service, or giving this as a solution to your organization, you have to think about all these things. Now, let's say I gave you an example, right? By the time You are mastered in understanding and writing a stories. You should not forget the fundamentals, correct? The basic knowledge, you no need to be master in this. Earlier, master in this is required, but AI is master in that. You should understand the concepts, the basic mathematics. For example, if a AI is taking a decision to implement one algorithm when compared to others, you should, in order to evaluate that, whether algorithm A is good or B is good, you should have that mathematical knowledge. For example, your data set size is very less and the columns are huge. 1,000 columns are there, only 200 rows are there. If a particular algorithm AI is choosing a random forest algorithm, and as part of your thinking, SVM is the best algorithm. To make a cross validation, at least you should have the fundamental knowledge. That's what I'm telling. Whatever I'm showing here, right? At least you should have the high level knowledge on these concepts. Okay. So, mathematics, you should have the base knowledge. You should be able to understand the mathematical equations for each algorithm. Then, programming skills. AI is generating the code. You cannot simply copy paste, right? You need to evaluate. Okay. Then, data analysis. We are going to discuss because data is a huge concept. Okay. So, you should have a basic knowledge on what is data, what is structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, where to use which, where to use structured, semi-structured, unstructured, what techniques are available for each type of data. Then algorithms. Okay, so not all algorithms are fit for all data sets. You need to, for example, if there is no linear relation between the numerical data, there is no point of applying linear regression. If AI is applying linear regression for that data set, it is wrong at very step one itself. To evaluate that, you should have this maturity. Then ML basics: what is supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, deep learning, what is deep learning, how CNN works, if there is a image data. Okay, so you are implementing a safety solution using computer vision. So first of all, you should understand what is an image, what kind of image techniques it is applying. Okay, otherwise your safety requirement does not require some techniques, but still if you are applying, your AI is applying, you have to take a corrective action, right? It does everything, but you should have that knowledge, thinking knowledge, design knowledge, what kind of techniques is required. Then you ask AI to do that part. Then NLP is a very important concept nowadays. The usage is less, but everything runs chat GPT, everything runs out of NLP only. Then LLMs, large language models. You should know how LLM works, you should know how agentic AI works, and you should know why cloud is required and how to use the cloud. Okay, I'm telling you, no need to go in deep about that. At least you should have this knowledge, because for example, you are an AI engineer, you are in one company, in one department, you got one project, you are going to work on another client for other department. At that time, you should not go and check the alphabets of that one. You should already aware of all the fundamentals. Slowly you have to master in your own area, but these are the fundamentals. Any problem statement, right? Your approach should be understand the problem, acquire the data, filter and fine tune only relevant data, analyze the data patterns, apply the approach, whether it can be math or data science, because you are applying scientific principles on data. That's what it is, data science and algorithms. And build an AI model, validate the test scenarios, identify the risks. That's what I'm telling. Identify the risk. You should list down the risks, fine tune the accuracy, stabilize the model, and deploy into the live system. So so here risk is very important. Choosing the AI model is very important. Okay. Irrespective of any AI you are using, you have to focus more on this. Now coming back to the data. So here data as part of your analysis, right? There are 4 levels: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive. Descriptive means what is there in your data. Diagnostic is what your data says. Predictive is today my data is like that. What would be my tomorrow or day after tomorrow or next year or the further years if I continue the same trend. Then prescriptive is not to continue like this. I want to improve my sales. I want to get out of my sales loss. I want to improve my sales loss. For that, what predictive actions we have to, prescriptive actions have to take. Like this, our analysis is going to start. So why I am putting, because see the value and complexity. Descriptive gives less value. Complexity is less. Diagnostic is Giving more value, little bit more complex. Predictive is giving more value by applying, making it more complex. Prescriptive is more complex than predictive, diagnostic, and descriptive, but it gives more value. So earlier data analysis AI starts with this topic, but now you know, right, where this part came, because all these things are AI is capable of doing it. Otherwise, any AI training or any AI course starts with what is data, what is Python and all. No, those days are gone. Okay, but still you should know these fundamentals. ML, I told, supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised reinforcement in or deep learning. You should know at least a couple of algorithms under each section. Then the same thing. Now, image processing, right? I'll tell you what is the importance of this. Okay. So far, we worked on the structure. I mean, whatever we discussed, right? Image concept didn't came, but whenever you want to apply a computer vision or a X-ray analysis, first of all, you should know what is an image. How many types of images are there? Defense system, they use images differently. Let's spend 5 minutes on this. So image is a combination of pixels. That's what we know. It's a pixel image. But there are a lot of image types. X-ray image is different from pixel image. Thermal image is different. Your CT scan is different. And your grayscale image is different. Photo frame image is different. Thermal image is different. Thermal image, it does not give anything. It just give blue and green colors as part of intensity of heat. If your heat is high, your red coefficient will be high. If the heat is less, it is more towards the green, like that. Most of the defense works like that, because from a particular height, you can wear a green dress and you can hide in a tree, correct? But the temperature with respect to tree and the temperature with respect to human or a material bomb or a gun, it is different. So using thermal image, they can detect. So there is a heat intensity there. Let's blast that. That is where all our defense systems works. Okay, using AI only. This computer vision image analytics is a completely a different topic. Most of the high value, high productive systems are working on AI only. Go to security in airport, using your facial recognition, it will get all the data. How accurately it is doing it. It is all image only. It's a pixel image, I'm telling. So you need to know about what is an image and how many types of images are there, and remote sensing, surveillance, computer vision, medical imaging, all are different. So image enhancement, image restoration, image segmentation, compression, transformation, processing, and feature extraction. So you should know at least what is what in with respect to image. Then only you can work on computer vision solutions. Otherwise, you cannot work, right? You will be using simply VLM or some YOLO model. You are getting the output. Definitely, you will get the output, but you cannot make it as a 100% workable production output. You should know what techniques in, for example, YOLO you are using. There are some techniques. So, what are the hidden methodologies they are used? You have to choose the right one. Then you have to combine it. So of course, nowadays we have in AWS, Azure, we have document intelligence with respect to documents. Similarly, image extraction we have. But that's what I'm telling. By the time you are becoming a writer, you should not forget the fundamentals. You don't know what kind of requirement you are going to get to work. You are a AI engineer, correct? You should have all the alphabets. That's the reason I gave alphabets of the computer vision, sorry, AI. So you should understand how computer vision works in a traditional way, right? You are seeing some input. It's a bowl here. It goes to brain and it detects, okay, it contains bowls, grapes, oranges, and watermelons, etc. Now, input is going to give a sensing device, which is a camera, and that footage you are going to give it to a AI model, and that AI model is going to detect, okay, this is similar to how our human brain detects. Here, eye is the camera. Input is not going to change. Eye is replaced with a camera, and our brain is replaced with the AI solution. So like that, you have to correlate our intelligence with the artificial intelligence. Okay. Next, NLP. That's what I'm telling. NLP is far grown, because Gen AI is entirely working on NLP only. But simple fundamentals you have to understand. What is token? How many tokens? Because If you use ChatGPT paid version or any other cloud service paid version, you are charged per tokens. First of all, if you don't know what is a token, how can you optimize the token cost? You understand, right? That's the reason I'm telling. So if you take any computer vision solution, so you are using a cloud service. They are taking some metrics, number of images of quality so and so. So images with compression and all, they are putting the metrics to control the cost, right? If you don't know these terminologies, how can you can use it, but you cannot make effective useness. That is the reason I'm introducing these concepts as alphabets of AI. Then stemming word tokenization, stemming lemmatization, word analysis, parts of speech tagging, dependency. So accuracy also, parts of speech tagging accuracy, 70% is costing less, but 90% is costing high. So all these things, named entity recognition, then machine translation, all these things you should have at least a basic knowledge. Then chatbot, let me tell you, because before going to the next concept, everything, the Gen AI, whatever you are using, right? Even Agentic AI, everything is user prompt. You are just giving a prompt, rest everything happens in the backend. You should have a fair understanding about how this chatbot works. Otherwise, how you are going to build an AI solution? How you are going to think like a system designer, architect, correct? So user interface gives a input, and it's going to split the user text into various tokens and frame the keywords and search for the knowledge base, whether it can be a CRM or core system or any other engine, then fetch the information and give it to the user. For example, here we have Facebook or web, anything web. So from UI you are going to the backend. In backend it is going to NLP area, and it's going to fetch the relevant data. Now we are using the vector databases as part of ChatGPT. All the data is there. For example, I want to write a code to print some logo, okay, or give some top 10 entertainment websites. So it will go and check in the corpus and pull the information and articulate it and give it to the natural language generator and give it to the user. So at least this much of knowledge you should be having, okay, instead of simply putting a chat in the chatbot and getting the output, right? You have to think, so whatever the input I am giving, so where it is going, and where from where it is pulling the data, and how, what data it is pulling, and how again it is generating the data where I can understand it, because computers usually understand only zeros and bits, everything, but how natural language is getting understood. So if you don't understand this part fundamentally, then how you are going to build great complex systems, correct? Then RAG is a very important concept. You have to go deep dive, because if you use ChatGPT, it gives a general knowledge, but not if you are working in a Reliance, right? Only a particular knowledge about Reliance is available with a Gen AI, sorry, ChatGPT. But if you want to know, work on Reliance sales or Reliance some business specific confidential data, that is where RAG is going to come. Okay, so general intelligence plus my own knowledge. If I use both, that is a RAG. So I'm putting a query. First, I fetch information from my external source, which is my own information. Then I am passing my query and my information to the LLM to generate the responses. So at least this fundamental, there are various types. That's a different thing, but this knowledge should be there. So out of all these things, one more important is data visualization, because end of the day everyone sees the numbers, everyone sees the graph. So if you don't know what is bar chart, I mean bar, line, pie are simple only, scatter, but there are other charts also, the business charts which we are using as part of requirements, right? So you should have good understanding about how many types of charts are there, when to use which chart, and what kind of data is effectively we can show, correct? Yeah. Finally, you should note down all the A and data terms, because whenever you are speaking, right, you should speak in data language. Whatever we are given here, you have to use the same terminologies, then only you can use. You have to speak in the language. Now, anything you want to learn, right, you have to invest your time, your interest, and you have to go for the seeing the output. For example, if you want to learn swimming, you cannot get it in a day or two, right? So there is a difference between candidate to candidate, but you have to go through those phases. So 90-day recalibration plan for AI, why it is required is first 1 to 30 days. You have to understand about all the AI fundamentals, concepts, various frameworks, cloud services, and tools, especially AI frameworks, and build some small projects so that anything in AI you can easily understandable. You are not a layman or a new person who is struggling to understand day 1 to day 2 or day 2 to day 4. All fundamentals you have to understand with examples. You have to spend this much of time. Then you have to start building the real world projects. So choose your domain, whatever I have shown, and take some problem statements, build a project, and show the output. So that gives your experience. Okay, I have solved this problem in AI. In first thing, for example, you are an AI engineer. I'm asking how dot product works. What is the can you please tell the difference between when to use random forest, when to use SVM? So all those fundamentals will be taken first phase. Second phase is you are already thorough with all the fundamentals. Second phase is only about the real time problems. Which industry having what kind of problems, how to solve it. That approach, AI approach, how to use AI and solve, and creating a portfolio. And third one is I have solved the project. I have the solution for a problem. Now I have to deploy and give it to a organization or give it to external business stakeholders. Okay, so how to deploy the apps, make it available for the users, and how to maintain it. Okay, consistently, stability. Then you can start your freelancing or you can go to the better roles. That's up to you. Okay, so then this is what I mean. This is at high level. So the concepts in the it's a breakup of first few days, prompt library and building some hands-on experience by using 2 3 tools, then building with AI one mini project, then use case design, core development, advanced features, and how to make your portfolio with respect to what knowledge you have, then deployment, real usage, and monetization if you are a freelancer, then career growth. Okay, so targeting students, focus on fundamentals and AI tools, very important. 0 to 7 years, you should have a think like a system designer and also more knowledge on the cloud. Senior leaders, AI strategy and team enablement, whom to use for what purpose, and founders and freelancers build your own products and try to monetize it. Okay, so any questions I can take, because I mean I have taken this from the fundamental of intelligence to AI, how AI is evolving, what is fading out, sorry, what is compounding and what is fading. Okay, because compounding and fading is very important. Then uh, importance of cloud, because AI is equally important and cloud also equally important. Then we discussed about type of use cases. Okay, how many types of business use cases we have with respect to problem statement, how many types of use cases. Then how to learn, because to build the use case, all the knowledge is to build the use case. To build the use case, again, what knowledge is required irrespective of each level. So we have discussed about how your knowledge should be gained independently, you can grow further, correct? So that is, then irrespective of any level, what knowledge, what minimal knowledge is required so that you can speak in AI language, right from data to AI ML to computer vision, NLP, Gen AI, Agentic AI, all fundamentals you should have. Otherwise you are working in one Agentic AI project, immediately if you got an opportunity to build one computer vision solution, if you say I don't know, then it won't be good. Okay, at least some base. So that knowledge will help you to deep dive on your own to solve that problem, at least matching 50 to 70% of quality. Okay, then it's good for you. Then we discussed about the visualizations, the importance of visualization to present. So from last year to this year, you cannot explain the text, right? End of the day you have to present in a, this is also very important. AI will generate, but that's what everything whatever I have shown AI will do. But you should be more smarter than AI to you, how then only you can use AI. Otherwise, you cannot use AI effectively. You are going to use whatever it gives. You can present it. If an expert is coming and pinpointing that, then it becomes an issue. Okay. So this knowledge is important. And finally, we gave the plan. At least you have to spend a very good amount of time to make yourself independently at irrespective of any level as a AI expert, and any new things which are evolving or coming, you should be able to, without any course or knowledge transfer or any other literature, you should be able to explore on your own. That is the objective. So any questions, I'm open to take. Hope
Thank yeah,
I
thank you
have
so much.
it is effective, and there is at least for this particular time 2 hours, right? There is a minimal knowledge. If you feel like you got some minimal knowledge, your thinking was changing and your eyes are opening towards the AI, I'm very much satisfied. Please go ahead with your questions, please.
Thank you so much, Jaiprakash sir, for such an insightful session. I hope the session gave a clear perspective on how developers can adopt and grow in an AI first world, and making the complex shift easy to understand and apply in real scenarios. We also thanks to all the participants for being a part of this session. Also, we'll be sharing the recording as well as the resources with you over the mail. If anyone has any questions, they can raise your hand and I'll unmute them. You can directly ask your question to sir.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes,
Hello, sir.
Siddharth.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I'm a fourth year BTech student. I'm from Karnataka, Mysore.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir,
Yeah.
actually, I'm also working with currently Google Cloud. I'm actually a cloud captain in my college.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
already worked with some AI tools in
Mm,
GCP like ADK Visual Builder,
okay.
uh, Agent Development Kit,
Mm,
and many more such as LangChain, LangGraph.
yeah.
And I'm currently in my third year.
Okay.
Is it right for me to get deep dive into all these AI tools before, or should I just focus on fundamentals of AI, or just for my placements in the college?
No, no. See, I mean, that's what I'm telling. In college, I mean, it's good that you're already having some exposure on some frameworks and knowledge. Okay. So you have to understand as a graduate. Okay. Before that, what is your goal? Whether you want to go for a corporate or you want to start your own. Okay. If you want to go for a corporate, you need to see what is expected from you for your level of experience. Okay, whatever the knowledge is required, if you are at least 10 to 20% beyond that, you are in safer zone, correct? So fundamentals are very important irrespective of at any level. At least I'm not telling to go deep dive and become a master in that. You don't need to build a statistical model, linear programming and all. At least you should know what is variance, what is bias, what is trade-off. Otherwise, even if you use a Google ADK or any other looker or any other tool, okay, so it gives those terminologies. You have to go and refer the dictionary again. Okay. Because this is not a one time task. This is for your next entire years, whatever you are going to do based on these fundamentals only. Without these fundamentals, you will be doing, but you are not really meaning and adding value. So, fundamental knowledge is very important. At the same time, if you are interested in any particular domain, okay, for example, you are interested in automotive, deep dive into automotive, speak AI in automotive language, then whoever is, then you target those companies. Or else if you are a general AI engineer, right? Okay, so you need to focus on more common areas. For example, irrespective of any industry, there are common use cases. Take those use cases, practice those, and add some value, put it in your profile. Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. First of all, you should have a clear idea about what you want to do with AI. Okay, accordingly you have to transform. Like if you are a domain specific expert, go ahead with that. If you are a general, accordingly you have to train, but fundamentals are common. Okay, so Google ADK you are using. Okay, for example, let's take one problem. Why and one client is not ready to use Google services because it is costly. Okay, and best example, I'll give you one example. Okay, so at that time you have to build your own model with a open sources or something. It's okay, I'm okay to wait for 1 month, but I want a in-house model. At that time what you do? You will struggle, right? That's what I'm telling. Knowing tools will add the value. but knowing fundamentals will build a strong foundation for you. Okay. So when I was in the automotive industry, uh, there is a mobile app where the customer will be searching for the nearest dealers. Okay. So they were using Google API. But what I did is I took a latlan of all the dealers across the India. I built a 1 lakh rows for 1,000. I mean, like it's like all combinations I have taken. Top five I'm filtering and I give it. Within 12 lines of code, I have done that in Python. So I'm saving a lot of cost, right? So you should be thinking like that. Anyone can use Google API, but uh, and one more thing is using cloud, using licensed tools is very easy and it's also very costly. Your value is going to add when you are using a tool and solving the problem and replacing it and leveraging that with your own knowledge. That is where you are different from others. So fundamentals are very important at any point of time. You may know no need to learn all the fundamentals, at least the basic one you should have an idea. Does this answer your question?
Sure, sir. I was well satisfied with your
Yeah,
answer.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you very much.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, Paresh, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, Prakash sir. Actually, I am from insurance domain
Yeah.
and I'm working in insurance business operations, right?
Okay,
So,
okay.
looking at the current trend of the industry, the most of the processes have been driven by AI
Yeah,
platforms. Okay.
yeah,
So, and actually, we also have some internal guidelines that we should master ourselves in AI,
yeah,
and that could help us out to improve our day-to-day life and the
yeah,
processes.
yeah.
So, can you just help me out with an
Sure.
right
Yeah,
way forward or the course which can help me out to take my career ahead in this platform and
yeah, yeah.
industry?
That's what. So I'll give you one example. Okay, you are in insurance. The same problem one girl was having in my previous organization. She's from HR. Okay, so she said like all HR is getting automated. So a lot of buzz in the outside. What we have to do and all. I gave a session like digital and AI HR specialist. You start create your designation as digital and AI HR specialist. That's all. You no need to do anything else. That is the title I have given. And I asked her to do R&D for 1 week and come back. Then she gave it a lot of information. Then I molded little bit technical knowledge also needs to be added to that so that you will be out of the crowd. So coming back to the your case, you know already insurance domain how insurance operates, and there is a technical team who works on automation of insurance processes, and you guys are raising a tickets whenever something goes wrong. Correct? This is the current scenario.
Correct.
Let's say now you need to slowly adapt what technical things they are using. Okay, you have to speak in this language to your management. So current you have to understand, no need to implement or no need to code or something. You have to understand this is the API they are using, this is the input, this is the output. And for this in market a lot of AI tools are available. Okay, so why can't we try this? You are already
Okay.
opening an eye to your management saying, okay, currently we are spending this much of time and amount for automation using APIs. There is a AI tool already available in the market. Why can't you try this? If you put a question like this, then you have to understand it's not like only tool name. What is an API? What is the input request? What is the output request? Which system it is? At least this fundamental flow you should have. That is the reason I told the fundamentals I told, right? Always to whether you are a domain expert or a programmer expert, fundamentals in AI are mandatory. Then only you can speak in that language. Otherwise, what happens? Even if your management task, right? We have process one, process two, 10 process are there, and we have 4 APIs. That API is not working, so it is failed. How long you are going to speak in this language? Maybe for first 3 years, if you speak, that's fine. For next 5 years, you have to change your language, right? You need to speak in a technical language. You have to speak in a digital language. You have to speak in a AI language. Correct? That is where
Yeah.
the customization is required. Fundamentals are required. And cloud knowledge and cloud is required. So, for example, your technical guy using cloud service, they are paying some $100. You have to tell why I have to give $100. There is a open source model available. Why can't you do that? Then only you can become a digital and AI insurance specialist, domain expert plus technical expert. Because future roles all are combined only. Core insurance, how long they are, because the same 3-year person is doing, 5-year person is doing, 10-year person is doing. What's the difference? Same development, not much difference between 3, 5, 10. Development is same. But when you combine both, those becomes master. I have a solid 5 years experience on insurance domain for a global giants. Okay. So
Okay.
understand the fundamentals. Insurance domain, already you know the knowledge. You understand what are all the current processes in your organization. Understand the fundamentals, tools, and try to adapt. How can I adapt which tool for which process? Do some hands-on. So that gives you a complete experience, right? That's what I gave you that 90 days plan. So overnight you cannot do, but if you start down the line 3 months, definitely you will see some change.
Noted, sir. Noted.
Yeah.
Thank you for the guidance.
Yeah. Yes, please. Any other questions?
Yes, yes. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello,
please
sir.
go ahead. Yeah, please
Like,
go ahead.
sorry, sir. Like, I have a question. Like, there would be some domains where AI will lag the skills to improve the, like, some skills. Like, which domain will be best to accompany my career opportunities?
See, that's what it's all I told you, right? Supply demand. Okay. So we have to understand what is the next industry. For example, if you take energy and utilities, so now traditional way is going to replace with the solar, nuclear, right? So energy and utilities is one area where domain experts are lagging with the technical skills. You have to choose like that. So banking, finance, so there are good number of, it's not like there are two things you have to understand. One is where demand is high, supply is less. Second one is where demand is high with a competition, in that area you should be outstanding expert. And it's all depends on your own interest. It's don't take like what I'm telling. You should be interested in what you are doing. For example, you are more interested in electronics, focus that. N number of problems you can solve in electronics. Okay. If you are interested in semiconductor or like insurance, okay, start domain knowledge. Start working on how each companies are having some various insurance policies and how AI are currently adapted. Go to the articles, papers, you will get some idea. So with all these fundamentals and technical knowledge, right, start solving the problems. Then put it in your portfolio. If you have this both knowledge, right, definitely you will be out of the crowd. So if you ask me, the demand, energy and utilities is one, and second one is the healthcare, and third one is supercomputing, because this is where more R&D is happening, but not products are not coming out.
Thanks, sir,
If
for
you are
your.
if you are interested in banking, go ahead with banking. No one is stopping. Okay. Only thing is you should be ahead of what others are doing. That's all.
Okay, okay, sir. Thanks.
Daniel, you can just unmute yourself. I have shared you the access.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I'm Daniel from Karachi. So my question is basically, agentic AI is like nowadays in boom, right?
Yeah.
So like everyone is creating apps, they
Mm,
are like whatever they want to build,
yeah.
but there is a security concern. How we can mitigate that? Can you
That is what.
tell me?
So building an AI agent is easy, but building an AI agent as you expected, and fulfilling the objectives and not breaching any regulations or governance is very important. Okay, so that's where, as part of understanding AI, right, I kept everything. So governance, ethical AI, governance AI. Okay, so these concepts you have to implement, and your agent should be designed in such a way like it should not cross its own limits. Okay, it should not take more than I mean, like for example, if it is implementing while loop, if the value is not available, it will run forever. Correct? So those guardrails needs to be defined. It varies from requirement to requirement, but agentic AI is workflow where it takes some decisions and executes some actions and again orchestrate between the systems and give and complete that workflow. During this process, it uses some tools, APIs, and frameworks, and that is where we have to limit at each and every step. Then your system is safe.
Sir, I guess you're not audible.
I'm not audible.
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. You want me to repeat that answer?
Uh, no, sir, I
No,
guess.
no. After that answer, I was calm because I'm just expecting is that answered the question. Is there any other question?
Okay. One last question we can take.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, yes. Soha, you can unmute yourself.
How are you? I am from Saudi Arabia. Just I want to ask, my background in is in DevOps, cloud infrastructure, and Kubernetes deployment. From your experience, how do you recommend integration AI into DevOps?
DevOps, you are
Operation
asking?
Yes, DevOps.
Okay.
DevOps
See, yeah,
deployment or
exactly. So DevOps, right? I mean, it is the team is less in an organization, but it is a very crucial for whatever the work rest of the team is doing. Okay. So right from validating the vulnerabilities and during the deployment phase, creating the YAML files and everything, right? So this is all doing by agent. We are already implementing. Agents are doing the deployments, and agents are approving the deployment requests based on the test scenarios. Okay. For example, whenever you want to do a deployment one, and after some time again you do some changes in deployment two. What if that particular deployment is breaking the existing feature? We don't know, right? So every time we cannot do 100 test cases testing and doing that. So at this time, our DevOps will trigger those AI agents who does all this stuff. So that is there. And one more thing is writing the ML and dynamic configuration files. So you are using one API key now. So automatically your API key is changed. So if you don't update it instantly, the business will fail. So agent will keep on monitor, and if there is any update, automatically it will replace it here so that the business will not fail during the deployments. So a number of use cases are there in DevOps. Only thing is you have to think. So from day one to day two, what tasks you are using, I mean you are doing, and what are the whichever the repetitive task you can create an agent to do that. Wherever there is a manual check required, you can use a human in the loop agent, and for any level one approval, agent can analyze and approve. And for level two approval, it can send a trigger email or a notification for you to approve because you no need to keep on waiting or checking your mails from anywhere you can approve. So like that, you can automate your DevOps tasks. Not only this one, LLM ops, and also now agentic ops is there. Okay, yeah,
okay. Do you think this course it's help for me or no?
yeah. That's what I'm
Course,
telling. So this course, right?
it's help for me.
We are taking all the fundamentals. Okay, so we are not skipping anything with respect to AI. And second thing is, it's not only AI. We are doing the cloud. Okay, we are doing the CI/CD. All fundamentals are covered. So the objective of this one is you should be able to understand and do independently. If there is any problem, you can find a solution on your own. So till that level, the maturity of your brain is getting molded with some activities. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Also, I would request all participants to take a moment to fill the feedback form and wishing everyone a great day ahead. Thank you so much.